Hello and welcome to In the Library with
Marsha.
and Adrian. And today we have with us special guest
Jodi Russ.
Jodi Russ is a return guest. She was with us once previously, and today she's here to talk about
Arts for Our Future.
What is Arts for Our Future?
Arts for Our Future is an annual fine arts show that we have at the Bedford Library that started way back in 1974, and it allows local artists to enter their work into a juried art show, and then we purchase pieces from that to create our art collection.
And how long has this been going on?
49 years this year. Isn't that crazy? 1974 it started.
Oh, I remember 1974. It was a good year for me.
Was it? I remember 1974 too. I bet I was much older than you.
So how many people typically enter?
We have anywhere from, I think we've had maybe 30-ish to about 70 people enter probably. Each artist can enter up to 3 pieces, so I honestly count more the total number of pieces that we have, as opposed to, that's my major concern because we have to have place to hang them all, or display them all.
Can people enter any kind of art? Because I may have a collage made out of like hair trimmings.
A recent collage.
No, let's go with it's a fine arts show. There's actually 6 different categories. So oil and acrylic paintings go in one, sculpture, ceramics, glass, those kinds of things go in a category. Watercolor, photography, which can be either digital or traditional, mixed media, and drawing are the 6 categories.
But you're saying my hair clippings don't qualify as mixed media.
Yeah, no, I don't think it qualifies it as fine art. Maybe is what more the problem is.
It is subjective. I don't know.
We could have AM judge that. It costs $25 to enter the show. The show actually begins on Sunday, November 5th. We ask that all artists bring their art to the library on Thursday, November 2nd. Anytime during our open hours, so 9 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. We're open till 8, but bring them in a little bit early. And then it gets judged on that Friday, November 3rd, and we start hanging after the judging. But we do display all of the art, so that's one of the things that many artists will call us and say, oh, is my art going to be hung? But we do display all of the art that gets entered in the show. And then there's ribbons awarded in those 6 categories. And then we also have 2 purchase awards, which are the actual value that the artists provide to us. One of those purchase awards goes into our Art for Loan collection, which is unique among libraries, that it is a circulating collection of original artwork that you can borrow with your library card to hang in your home or office for 3 months at a time. And then the other purchase award goes into our permanent collection, which is just on display around the building here. But we also do a $150 award for the best of show piece. And then there's a $50 award for the People's Choice Award, which people just get to vote on their favorite throughout the time of the art show.
Are there any requirements the artists need to be aware of?
Art can't be bigger than 36 inches wide because that's what we need to hang on the panels, and it must be ready for hanging. So it's got to be in some sort of a frame or with some sort of a wire or hook on the back of it, unless of course it's sculpture, which would then just sit on a shelf, or some of our sculpture is hanging actually, but yeah, no more than 36 inches wide.
Okay. If I recall reading my notes correctly.
A lot of hair.
That is a lot of hair. It's about what I grow in a week. So if I remember reading my notes properly, 1 piece must be for sale.
Yes, at least 1 piece must be for sale from each artist, but not all of them have to be for sale. And as I often tell the artists, if you really, really, really don't want to sell your piece, just put a price on it that we can't afford to buy. And then you wouldn't, have to sell your piece. The other thing is it has to be original.
You would make
work.
a lot of money.
Yeah. It has to be original work made by the artist, not as part of a class project. And then it has to be within the last 2 years. So you can't dig out, if the hair is from, you did that as a child, for instance.
I have a glued and painted pile of popsicle sticks from when I was
Ooh.
5. Could I enter that?
No. Also not fine arts.
I feel like I don't understand fine art. But do we know who will be judging the fine art?
We actually don't have our judge lined up yet, but we are still looking for people right now. We have a list of people we're contacting. We look for somebody who is preferably an art instructor at the college level. Last year we had somebody from BGSU. So we often look at like Lourdes University or Bowling Green, places who have an art program of some sort. We are looking right now.
What would I need if I wanted to be on the list of candidates?
For judge,
Mhm.
some kind of a background in teaching of various types of art.
I will send you my resume.
Okay, good. Yeah, send me your resume. That would be great. Art hangs until the week, until just after Thanksgiving. So we would want your art to be able to stay up here in the library and through Sunday, November 26th, and then you can come take it down the next couple days after that.
What if the art in question happens to be perishable?
Oh.
Like if I was to put
disappearing ink.
Jello, made a Jello tower.
I was kind of thinking like if it was a mounted like turkey dinner and it probably wasn't going to last.
Oh, through Thanksgiving because you want to eat it that day. Yeah. That'd be interesting. That'd probably attract mice.
That's a good point.
I don't want to be remiss. I need to give credit to the people who started this show back in 1974 because they've been very important components to the show. So there were 3 local women who started this, Alice Dewey being one of them, who is an artist herself, who has entered our show every single year. I'm not sure she'll be entering this year, but she has every year until now. And then Elizabeth Coster, who was a local supporter of the arts, also an artist herself. We have some beautiful work of hers. She's also the person who did the fundraising for the grand piano that we have here at the library and for the stained glass windows that are out there in the lobby. And Jodi Russ, who was also a local artist. Her daughter still enters the show occasionally. Jodi has passed away. But those 3 women are the ones who had the original idea. And then our local township clerk, Pearl Albert, at the time wrote a grant to the Humanities Council to get the money to start the project. So I just wanted to give credit to those people who got this started 49 years ago.
That was a good year, 1974.
1974. I'm wondering why Adrian keeps repeating that. Are you curious, Marsha?
I thought I knew. Is it? No, I guess I don't know. Is it because wait, when were you born? Later than that? You're younger.
No.
So the art shows the art show is older than you, Adrian.
No. Because see, I remember back in 1974, like there was a fire at the Joma building in Sao Paulo that was big news back in February. I remember that.
Before you were born.
Before
you were born.
There was a hung parliament in March where Edward Heath had to resign from the United Kingdom. And I'm totally not just reading the Wikipedia page for 1974 right now.
That's great. I was like, oh man, you have a good memory before you were even, conceived. That's awesome.
There was some great music and movies back in 74 too, I'm sure. So yeah, it was quite a year.
So is there anything else you need to tell us about the arts for our future?
I don't know. We have a reception on Sunday, November 5th. We hope all the artists will join us for that. The public is welcome to come for that. It's from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday the 5th. All the art will be hanging or displayed at that point, and we'll have some hors d'oeuvres and beverages that people can just mingle and discuss, and it'll all be fun.
And that's a really great time. I would say that too, whether you're the artist or whether you're just coming to see the art, whether or not you want to buy any, it's just that's a really fun time. And even just to talk to the artists and visit the library, that's a great event.
Can I ask some difficult questions about Arts for Our Future?
Sure.
Have you ever considered just calling it by its acronym, AFOF?
No. Nope. Never entered my mind.
Okay, but now that you know that
It
it's
rolls off the
acronym,
tongue.
AFOF. AFOF.
AFOF. Everyone, it's
Arts
time for AFOF.
Oh.
Arts for Our Future, AFOF. Okay, well, just tuck that in the back of your mind.
Okay. I'll keep that. In my own head, I'll probably refer to that from now on.
Noted. Right. AFOF. I think you should inside the building for sure. Adrian, set up those panels for AFOF. AFOF. Try it out. Today.
Yeah. See if it rolls off my tongue. I should mention we had a student component join the art show sometime after several years after it started, I think, which we used to have in conjunction with the regular show, but it got too crowded. So we now do that as a whole separate component in the spring with Bedford Public Schools, and they have a show just for their pre-K through 12th grade students. So we call it Young Arts for Our Future.
Young Arts.
Yapoff.
Yeah.
Yapoff. That's a little better.
Right.
Like
that's like Yapoff Smirnoff.
Yapoff. Oh, Smirnoff.
Have you ever entered Arts for Our Future, AFOF?
No, I'm not an artist. I appreciate art. I do not enter art. I do photography is what I love the most because my dad was a photographer. So that's what I tend to appreciate more than anything else. But I also love the drawing stuff, though. I'm looking at one of those. That elephant from a couple of years ago is really amazing. So people who have that kind of talent, I really admire. Not me.
Me neither. No talents here.
Would you rather paint with coffee or paint with tea?
Oh, tea. Yeah, I think I've seen some interesting paintings with tea, right? I think that's a thing. Yeah, and you start thinking about herbal teas and all the cool colors there. Yeah, you can probably do some pretty cool stuff with that.
Have you ever eaten a piece of art?
Well, I mean, some of my food is a piece of art, so yes. I did the culinary program at community college. I can put together a pretty nice looking spread and we could call it art and then eat it.
Yes. Food is definitely a little bit of magic, a little bit of art. Food is definitely all of those things.
It makes me feel magical. So yeah.
So we're talking about food as art. Could we, if we decided we wanted to petition the library to add a category, could we do that?
Oh, that sounds like a completely separate show. I think we should do a food competition.
Well, it wasn't necessarily adding food as a category, maybe like hair sculptures.
We actually used to have textiles as a category. We used to have a couple of different things separated out, and textiles was a category, and we didn't have enough entries. So I always have an open mind for additional suggestions, but we'd have to make sure there was a market for it, because when you're giving away a first, second, and third and honorable mentions and you only have one artist enter anything in that category, I mean,
that is one lucky winner. I call that one lucky winner.
Yes, they will be thrilled. However, it's not,
I understand. I do.
So much for your hair sculpture.
It's lovely.
I bet your wife and kids really like it.
Did you have any questions, Marsha?
No, I'm so excited for the art show. I think it's great. I wanted to remind everyone that, like Jodi said, art is available for checkout at the Bedford branch because of these art shows and because of the pieces that have been donated or purchased, I guess. And then also the Ellis Library also has art for loan, and you can check out all of these things on mymcls.com. All of these art pieces are digitized, and you can shop right from home or right from your phone for any artwork that you'd like to hang up for 3 months at a time. That's what I wanted to add about the art show. I did have a couple of programs too. Speaking of food, when you're talking about food, I thought this was the perfect segue to talk about a program going on here at the Ellis Library called Grubs Up: What Soldiers Ate and Drank. Civil War Soldier Roundtable program. It's on Thursday, September 14th at 7 o'clock. So yeah, it talks about how they were provided some rations, but of course supplemented with things like grubs and probably hair or such. So that is the program coming up.
This looks like a good place to rustle up some grub.
Yeah, ching. Yes, that's exactly right. So it's called Grubs Up, and that is on Thursday, September 14th. And then the same day as the art show, I recently learned on Friday, November 3rd at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Jackie and Gary, fan favorites, will be back performing a Friday afternoon concert here at the Ellis Library. So after you drop off your artwork on Thursday, come on over to Ellis on Friday afternoon for some sing-along, jokes, and good fun.
A couple of programs we've got going at Bedford too that are new and different, so I thought maybe we should plug those. Is Jessica, our newest employee, is starting a outdoor book club it's called Book Trekkers, and she'd be a good candidate for this podcast in the future to give you more details about that. But that begins on September 13th, Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. They're meeting at White Park. The plan is to walk outdoors for 45 minutes to an hour and then come into indoor space, whether that's at a park or at the library, will depend on the month, to discuss books. And so it's part of getting people outside and doing things that are active. For 6 months out of the year, she'll meet at one of the parks to do a walk. And for the other 6 months, they'll meet here at the library to walk in the woods out back in any weather. So be prepared. And then the other thing is called Citizens Academy, which we're doing as a partnership with the Monroe County Community College and the Michigan State Police. And it's an 8-part program that starts on Thursday, September 14th. At 6 p.m. And it is all about teaching you what different areas of law enforcement do, how you can partner with them and work with them, ways you can keep your family safer, things you need to know in order to work effectively with law enforcement. So those are a couple things that I know that we have coming up. Lots of other things coming up too, but those are 2 big things that I wanted to make sure I mentioned.
If I could push just a couple programs real quick, I've got 3 coming up in the near future. September 16th, which is a Saturday, we're looking to have a chess tournament starting at 9:30 a.m. here at the Bedford Branch Library. If you're interested in chess, please sign up. Registration is required by September 13th for that. There's 4 age groups, under 9, 10 to 13, 14 to 18, and 19 and up. Then we've got Thursday, September 21st, 2023 at 7 p.m. We will be having the history of Monroe's peers with Shauna Mazer, who's a historian and author, discussing her book on the history of Monroe County's peers. And then one last program for me. I would like to let everyone know that on Friday, September 29th, 2023, from 5 to 8 p.m., we're going to be having Grown-Up Gaming Night returning at the Bedford Branch Library. So come out, play some games. It'll be a good time. It's been a lot of fun the last couple. That's what I got. Okay. Do you have anything you need to add, Marsha?
Nope, there's a lot of events going at every library. I just talked to someone yesterday. I was a mom of kids, and she's like, don't worry, I already registered for all of the story times coming up all around the system. And that made me so happy. So I love to remind people to go to mymcls.com. You can search by event. You can search by library branch. You can go to multiple branches. Everything is free. We also have a chess event coming right here, but I can't think of the day right now. And so if you just go to mymcls.com and you start looking at all of the different things for all different ages throughout the library system and throughout the county.
This has been In the Library with
Marsha
and Adrian and our special guest,
Jodi.
Yay.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Be sure to check out Afoff.
Afoff.
Yeah, Foff. Yep, you froze. Oh, peace out, Boy Scout. I think you just hung up on me. Fine by me.